Good evening. I'm Mika Brzezinski. The al-Qaeda mastermind who plotted the bombing of the USS Cole escapes from a prison in Yemen. The worldwide security alert is where we begin tonight.
Another day of violence over the caricatures of the Prophet Muhammad. I'm David Hawkins in Cairo.
Putting their best foot forward. I'm Joey Chen at the New Orleans Marathon with those who are in it for the long run.
And I'm John Blackstone with the newest drink from wine country, beer for dogs.
This is the CBS Evening News.
That prison break in the Middle East has a direct connection to a terrorist attack more than 5 years ago. The government of Yemen says the al-Qaeda operative behind the attack on the USS Cole is among the 23 inmates who escaped from a prison in the country's capital. Interpol, the worldwide police group, says the fugitives are a clear and present danger to all countries. Mark Phillips has more on the escapees and their crimes.
The captured, trial and imprisonment of those responsible for the attack on the USS Cole, in which 17 American sailors died, was a high point in Yemen's declared alliance with the U.S. in the war on terror. The escape from prison of those behind the attack is a deep embarrassment and puts Yemen's determination into question. The escape was both an inside and outside job. A 150-yard tunnel was dug from within a mosque right into the prison, which is housed inside Yemen's military intelligence services compound. 23 prisoners escaped. Among those who got out were 13 members of al-Qaeda, including Jamal Badawi, who masterminded the attack on the Cole in October 2000, and Fawaz al-Rabi'a, who led the group which attacked a French oil tanker and killed one crew member around the same time. Al-Rabi'a had used his trial to declare his continued obedience to al-Qaeda. "We will never renounce our allegiance to Sheikh Osama," he shouts. Bin Laden, for his part, was quick to claim responsibility for the attack on the Cole. Al-Qaeda videos celebrated that attack and threatened more. Now the Yemenis say they are trying to lock down the city of Aden, where the attack took place, before the fugitives can vanish into the rural tribal areas where the government has a lot less control and where sympathies for al-Qaeda and bin Laden are still strong. The bin Laden family, in fact, originates in the remote desert areas of Yemen, and government influence there is still best described as spotty. Meanwhile, Interpol, the international police agency, has issued a global security alert. Mika?
Mark, I'm curious. They burrowed from a mosque into a heavily fortified defense facility. How committed are the Yemenis to squashing al-Qaeda?
Well, those are exactly the questions that are being raised, and in fact, eyebrows are being raised as well about exactly how this escape was organized with that tunnel being built. But it goes even further than that. Interpol has issued an orange alert. They say they'd like to issue a red, higher alert, but they don't have the proper paperwork yet from the Yemenis to do that.
Mark Phillips, thank you. Muslim protesters directed more violent anger today against newspapers in Denmark and other European countries that have printed cartoons of Muhammad. From Cairo, David Hawkins measures the fury that is sweeping across the Islamic world.
In Lebanon today, an angry mob of more than 10,000 set the Danish embassy on fire and ransacked a predominantly Christian neighborhood in Beirut. Police fired tear gas at the crowd after it overran security barricades. The violence is particularly troubling because Lebanon has been torn apart by religious wars in the past. The protests spread to Lebanon from Syria, where yesterday the Danish and Norwegian embassies were attacked and set ablaze. The firestorm ignited last week when newspapers, first in Denmark, then in other European countries, printed caricatures of the Muslim prophet Muhammad wearing a turban resembling a bomb, a picture CBS News has decided not to show. Muslims consider any depiction of Muhammad as blasphemy. The Danes continue to backpedal.
We do not print the papers. The government does not print the papers.
Muslim anger in Europe, though, seems to be about more than just the drawings.
I believe that the Iraq war, the Afghanistan war, the propaganda in the media are all parts of the equation.
They were probably extremely provocative, but it's the reaction to it which is so absurd.
Cartoonist Martin Rosen from the British newspaper The Guardian says this is a clash between two societies, one where free speech is tolerated and one where it's practically unknown.
Certainly cartoonists and satirists and people who believe in freedom of speech should stand up to be counted to say that we will not be browbeaten and intimidated.
Extremist websites are calling for more demonstrations, but a few Arab commentators are saying enough is enough. A newspaper editor here in Cairo is criticizing people for refusing to accept European apologies, asking, what more do you want? Mika?
David Hawkins in Cairo, thank you. In Arkansas, a teenager wanted in an attack on a gay bar in Massachusetts was fatally shot by law enforcement, but not before he killed a police officer and a mother of three. Kelly Kobiella has more.
Deep in the mountains of North Arkansas, Jacob Rabita's 3-day road trip ended as violently as it began. The 18-year-old high school dropout had been on the run since Thursday, wanted for a hate crime at a bar in New Bedford, Massachusetts. 3 people were shot. Bob Perry was one of them.
I'm so happy that this has come to an end.
Rabita made it some 1,200 miles south to the small Arkansas town of Gassville, picking up a friend in West Virginia along the way. But his getaway unraveled here when Officer Jim Sell pulled him over. Rabita shot him twice. Marianne Hoyne was in the hotel office.
I seen the officer down. His head was facing me, and I seen that I couldn't help him, and I stayed on the phone with the sheriff's department.
Police chased Rabita for several miles. When they stopped him, Rabita shot his friend once in the head, then fired on police. Police fired back, hitting him twice. Rabita died in the hospital. He was known to be a Nazi sympathizer, but it's not clear if he had any ties to white supremacist groups. Investigators still have questions. Why did he do it? Why did he come to Arkansas? And was he acting alone? Kelly Kobiella, CBS News, Mountain Home, Arkansas.
All right, in other news now, word is that there seems to be a rather important sporting event going on today, and this rather big game is being held in Detroit. Cynthia Bowers has the story of how the Motor City is trying to make sure everyone feels super.
Detroit has all the trappings of every other Super Bowl, but for the Motor City, it is a supersized opportunity to shrug off its Rust Belt image and find its future. And it has been pitching relentlessly with one long series of parties, including this one at a downtown homeless shelter, complete with widescreen TVs.
I'm a Pittsburgh fan, you know.
Shelter residents understand their party is largely an effort to hide the homeless, but say they don't mind.
I kind of understand why, they're doing some of the things they're doing. You want to make a good first impression anywhere you go.
They understand better than most that a good impression is something Detroit desperately needs, because just beyond the new buildings and ballparks, the $3 billion facelift is the flip side of Detroit, the one that won't benefit from any quick fix. In the 1950s, this was the nation's 4th largest city with 2 million people. Today, it's home to fewer than half that. A third of those live below the poverty level, and the industry that gave this city its lifeblood is fighting for its very life, hemorrhaging money and jobs.
Which begs the question, is this even the proper place to be hosting that orgy of excess that is the Super Bowl? Or is it time the NFL and its fans got a reality check?
This is a Super Bowl in a city, a real city, with problems, with great spots, with highlights, with lowlights.
Projections call for an economic boost of anywhere from $40 to $300 million, but nobody knows for sure.
I don't see it as the end all to what we're trying to accomplish here as a community.
What happens when all the hoopla leaves on Monday?
This is when we start our real work.
And in that respect, the homeless have a lot in common with their hometown. Both are looking for a second chance. Cynthia Bowers, CBS News, Detroit.
And down in New Orleans today, the city got a dress rehearsal for Mardi Gras, hosting its first big event since Hurricane Katrina. Joey Chen reports the running of the Mardi Gras Marathon was a big step forward on the long road to recovery.
They set off this morning on the same 26-mile course the Mardi Gras Marathon is always run on.
Ladies and gentlemen, good luck.
But never before has the road ahead seemed so long and so important.
This year, it just means a lot because of what happened and what it stands for, the community coming back
3,000 runners, less than half last year's field, took off from the very spot outside the Superdome where desperate evacuees begged for help just 5 months ago. But every mile revealed just how much the city has lost.
It's been an eye-opener. I mean, we knew it was bad, but yeah, I think how enormous it is hard to believe.
Katrina left half the course underwater. At each mile, race organizers posted reminders of how hard the community had been hit. At mile 7, 6 feet of water. But on so many stretches, the runners could see for themselves.
11 miles of this race are going to be run through areas that you may have one resident per square mile living in that entire neighborhood.
A New Orleans native, Bill Burke, never backed away from holding this race.
We think it's important, again, to have people run through these communities to show them the level of destruction.
Because so many hadn't seen it before. Most came from outside Louisiana, from every state and a dozen countries.
It was sad to see the homes with empty, and you wonder about the families and where they are. Yeah, it was kind of emotional. Keep it up.
By next year, organizers hope more runners will be back, and the race will be able to end where it used to, inside the Superdome. But they know the path to that kind of progress is a long one. That, like bringing New Orleans back, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Joey Chen, CBS News, New Orleans.
Nice. And still ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, secret government surveillance about to go under the spotlight. And later, the beef-flavored beer with a dogged following.
I am dedicated. I am disciplined. I am determined, and I'm a diabetic. And that's how I feel when I test with my meter, the Accu-Check Aviva.
The new Accu-Check Aviva system, designed to fill and test right the first time, to avoid painful resticking. The Accu-Check Aviva, switch to the system that makes every strip count.
We asked Lindsay Allen how new Ambien CR helped her with her sleeping trouble. Well, there you are. New Ambien CR has a controlled release formula in a 2-layer tablet. The first layer dissolves quickly to help you get to sleep fast, while the second layer dissolves slowly to help you stay asleep. So you can wake up and get ready for your day. New Ambien CR is one of many treatment options in addition to lifestyle changes that you and your doctor can consider. Ambien CR is non-narcotic. Until you know how Ambien CR will affect you, you shouldn't drive or operate machinery. Side effects may include next-day drowsiness, dizziness, and headache. You shouldn't take it with alcohol. All sleep medicines carry some risk of dependency. Do not use sleep medicines for extended periods without first talking to your doctor. Be sure you're able to devote 7 to 8 hours to sleep before you need to be active again. Ask your doctor about the new Ambien. New Ambien CR. Tomorrow will thank you.
York's new Affinity Series furnace system with Climatrack is efficient, dependable, and gorgeous. It's customizable for any region's climate because people like to be comfortable no matter what the forecast has in store. The new beautiful Affinity Series furnace from York.
A clinical study has shown that Cheerios, made with all natural whole grain oats added to a low-fat diet, can actually help reduce cholesterol. Just think of them as little life preservers. Certified by the American Heart Association.
You've always been competitive. Staying active and fit helps you maintain your regimen. That's why you choose GNC's Mega Men Sport Multivitamin. It provides balanced nutrition and energy support with essential nutrients and a proprietary sports blend for optimal health and athletic performance. Our best-selling formula is enhanced with antioxidants, prostate, and heart support to keep your body running at its peak. That's why at GNC, we believe a quality life starts from within. Live well.
The following message is completely tasteless and completely clear. Benefiber. Unlike Metamucil, it dissolves completely in beverages and is tasteless. Now that's fiberlutionary. Benefiber makes taking fiber easier.
President Bush's Attorney General will be the star witness when the Senate opens hearings tomorrow into the government's controversial domestic surveillance program. Going by what the committee's chairman said today, Alberto Gonzales can expect some tough questioning. Randall Pinkston has more.
In his role as defender-in-chief, U.S. Attorney General Alberto Gonzales will vigorously justify the administration's domestic spying program before the Senate Judiciary Committee. In his opening statement obtained by Time magazine, Gonzales describes news accounts of the program as misinformed, confused, or wrong. The president's other defenders say his wartime presidential powers, granted they say by congressional approval for the war in Iraq, gave him the authority.
It's necessary and it's legal. And remember, it's not any foreign communication. It's only communications connected to Al-Qaeda. That's international phone calls from a foreign spot into the United States that implicates Al-Qaeda.
But most Democrats and some Republicans reject that explanation.
The authorization for the use of force doesn't say anything about electronic surveillance. Issue was never raised with the Congress, and there is a specific statute on the books, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, which says flatly that you can't undertake that kind of surveillance without a court order.
Through all the criticism, Mr. Bush steadfastly maintains that he has not only the authority, but the duty to eavesdrop.
If there are people inside our country who are talking with Al-Qaeda, we want to know about it.
A new report says the vast majority of warrantless wiretaps were not connected to Al-Qaeda. The Washington Post, quoting current and former administration officials, say fewer than 10 U.S. citizens a year were deemed suspicious enough for further monitoring. Mika?
Randall Pinkston, thank you. Now, near Buffalo, New York, one life-saving deed made another possible. The story begins back in 1999 when Kevin Steffen was 11 years old. Struck in the chest with a baseball bat, Kevin's heart stopped. An off-duty nurse jumped into action and gave him CPR and got his heart beating again. Now, cut to last month when Kevin performed the Heimlich maneuver on a woman who was choking in a restaurant. That woman turned out to be Penny Brown, the nurse who saved his life 7 years ago. Talk about full circle. Just ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, how one woman hopes to close a gap in life-saving organ donations.
I'm not going to let health concerns hold me back.
From doing a single lap, doing a single turn.
Some multivitamins talk a good game, but Centrum Silver is a specially age-adjusted multivitamin with high levels of B vitamins, which emerging science suggests may help reduce the risk of vascular diseases, including heart disease, and with calcium to help maintain healthy blood pressure.
I can't wait for my next gig.
My next plunge.
Centrum Silver, adjusted for your age and your life.
When mucus gets into your chest, it's tough to get it out.
I'm sticking around here like glue. Uh-oh.
Mucinex breaks up mucus that causes congestion and lasts up to 12 hours.
You win, you win!
Mucinex in, mucus out.
Oh, check this out.
What is this?
It's to strengthen my bones.
Oh, let me see that.
Once a month. Oh, wow, that's great.
It's Boniva, a once-monthly prescription treatment for postmenopausal osteoporosis, clinically proven to build and maintain bone density.
Where did you get it? My doctor prescribed it.
I didn't know you could take just one tablet a month for anything.
Yeah, with Boniva you can.
And unlike treatments you take every week, you only need Boniva once a month.
All I can say is wow.
Wow, once a month.
Wow, look at that dessert.
You should not take Boniva if you have low blood calcium, severe kidney disease, or cannot sit or stand for at least 60 minutes. Follow dosing instructions carefully. Stop taking Boniva and tell your doctor if you experience difficult or painful swallowing, chest pain, or severe or continuing heartburn, as these may be signs of serious upper digestive problems. You do the right thing to treat your osteoporosis. To build and maintain strong, healthy bones, ask your doctor about once monthly Boniva. There's only one.
So you're saying he's a fairy?
Snack fairy.
Help! A little help! And he brought you gifts? Yep. Brought these. Fig Newtons. 100% whole grain? They're good, actually. Yep, they are good. We love your cookies, sir. What? Walk it off, Snack Fairy!
New 100% whole grain Fig Newtons from Nabisco.
Snack happy.
I'm on that roasted chicken Italiano diet.
Beef and mushroom diet. You've got to try it.
Counting calories never tasted better because 25 of your favorite Progresso soups are 100 calories or less per serving.
Chicken noodle. And it shows.
This week, family secrets locked away for more than 40 years.
They told me that you need to sit down.
One person held the only key.
They told me that they found my mother.
An unforgettable family reunion. Also, on stage and off at the Grammy Awards, Mariah Carey, Jamie Foxx, and Harrison Ford, plus the Survivor cast-off on The Early Show.
It is difficult enough to be waiting for an organ transplant, but for African Americans, the problem is far more dire. In tonight's Weekend Journal, one woman waiting herself for a transplant is trying to raise awareness to change that. 25-year-old Karen Roberts wanted to be a doctor, but that dream ended 5 years ago when she was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease that attacks her liver. She's now on the liver transplant waiting list.
I could go maybe 10 years, maybe 15 years, depending on how well I go with treatment. However, if something stresses my liver, it could fail, and that's when I would need a transplant.
Roberts is one of more than 90,000 people on the organ transplant waiting list in the United States, and one of almost 25,000 African Americans. While African Americans are about 12% of the population, they make up 27% of those on transplant waiting lists. That's due mostly to their high rate of diabetes and high blood pressure. So while African American organ donation rates are about the same as whites, they actually need to donate more to meet their greater need. One reason? Donor and recipient blood types must match. African Americans are more likely to have type O or type B blood than whites. When Karen Roberts found this out, she started volunteering to educate her community about the problem.
Just trying to get it out that, people need to be aware of this. People need to discuss it with their families.
Victoria Dent's family was prepared when her father died.
My family knew when it was time to make the decision to donate my father's tissue that was something that he wanted.
And she's working to spread the word in the African American community.
The organ transplant.
We decided to go to the churches. We look to our faith for strength, and the church is a great way to bring a message, a health message.
Doctors are also working to overcome cultural skepticism from people who may have little access to health care.
If we get rid of some of those disparities in health care, then we will, in some ways, I believe, eliminate some of this mistrust that we see in the community.
Building trust and increasing donation rates is critical, especially to those whose need is very real.
Everyone who is on the list, who's waiting, even if they don't want to think about it, it's always in the back of their mind that, what if I don't get that organ when at the last moment that I would need it?
Karen Roberts hopes more outreach programs will demystify donation and ultimately end the organ shortage so that everyone who needs a transplant gets one. We'll be right back.
I'm so congested and I can't sleep.
She needs Nasonex. Nasonex relieves congestion and other nasal allergy symptoms. Nasonex. Nasonex.
Nasonex relieves congestion and other nasal allergy symptoms. Maybe that's why 4 million nasal allergy sufferers used Nasonex last year. Side effects were generally mild and included headache, viral infection, sore throat, nosebleeds, and coughing.
A wise choice.
Nasonex treats congestion and other nasal allergy symptoms. Ask your doctor about Nasonex.
The human body was designed to move. That's why Serenity developed a revolutionary fabric for their new protective underwear that stretches in every direction to gently hug your body for a closer fit than the leading protective underwear. New Serenity Discreet Activewear. You move, they move. You're protected. For a free sample, call 1-877-GET-TENA. Serenity from Tena.
Me? I'm a problem solver. There's a problem, I solve it. One problem I thought I'd solved? My acid reflux disease. I thought it was just bad heartburn. But when I went back to my doctor, He told me over time stomach acid had damaged the lining of my esophagus. He prescribed Nexium. Said I needed more than heartburn relief. My esophagus needed repair. Nexium healed the erosions in my esophagus. And one prescription Nexium pill a day keeps me healed and relieves my heartburn.
So I don't just feel better, I am better.
My doctor did say other serious stomach conditions may still exist, and headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain could be side effects of Nexium.
Talk to your doctor about Nexium and find out if a free trial is right for you.
Even the best problem solvers need a little help sometimes.
Nexium, the healing purple pill. If you can't afford your medications, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
Our taxes are done. Our taxes are done.
What? Shouldn't we have gone to one of those tax stores?
Why? TurboTax asks me questions just like the tax guy does, then puts the answers on all the right forms.
But the tax guy checks it.
TurboTax checks for errors and missed deductions.
How do we know it's right?
All calculations are guaranteed accurate. Over 20 million returns were prepared with TurboTax last year alone.
Well, if it's so good, then how much are we getting back? Wow!
TurboTax. Taxes made easy, taxes done right.
Ever hear of MySpace.com? 13 million teens have, and what some of them are posting on the popular website is putting them in peril.
Some people even put their phone numbers on there.
Monday, sexual predators stalking teens online. The danger is real, but what's being done about it? See why more people are watching the CBS Evening News with Bob Schieffer.
Finally tonight, you may have seen the commercial where a dog is trained to fetch his owner a beer. Well, here's the story of a woman who's found a way to return the favor. John Blackstone with more on a beer that's gone directly to the dogs.
Most head to California's Napa Valley to fetch some wine, but lately dogs have been coming here for the beer. It's called Happy Tail Ale, just for dogs, a big seller at Cheryl Richburg's Napa store.
It's just, people love their dogs.
You want some beer? Beer?
The tale of Happy Tail Ale begins with Jamie Miller's love for Cody, her 120-pound Akita. Miller discovered by accident that Cody loves beer, but beer doesn't love dogs.
Dogs can't metabolize alcohol the way that humans can. So first of all, that's your first red flag. Don't give your dog real beer.
So on her kitchen stove, Miller brewed up a recipe for dog beer. No alcohol, but a hint of beef to give it some bite. It may come in a long neck bottle. Still, I remain unconvinced that something flavored with beef can be called beer. All the same, the intended consumers seem to lap it up. Miller's brew is now coveted by so many canines. She has it made professionally and delivered 200 cases at a time.
The first time the truck pulled up with this, I said, oh my God, how am I going to sell all of that? And now I'm looking at it going, is that going to be enough?
If there's any growling, it might be about the price. $1.50 a bottle. $8.99 for a six-pack for your dog?
It's your dog, though. You love it.
Even the recent flooding in Napa turned out to be good for Happy Tail Ale. When Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger toured the damage, he stopped at Cheryl Richburg's store.
He wanted a Napa Valley product, and I immediately said, you want the hottest thing around? And he said, yeah, and I said, here's Happy Tail Ale.
So the governor left Napa not with wine, but with dog beer. Proof, if any was needed, that even the strong can weaken when it comes to their dogs. John Blackstone, CBS News, Napa, California.
Just falling off the wagon there. That's the CBS Evening News. I'm Mika Brzezinski. CBS News, New York. Good night.
For news 24 hours a day, click on CBSNews.com. Brought to you in part by Walmart, where you can find everything you and your family need at everyday low prices. Walmart. Always low prices. Always. Experience CBS News.
You know, cancer is about the worst word a person can hear as far as his health is concerned. My physician from Murray Regional Hospital, he suggested surgery to remove the prostate, which I chose. My public speaking is a way to give back to Murray Regional for what they did for me, and also hope that I can save some lives of some men who ordinarily would not go get a PSA test. My physician reassured me that everything was going to be okay, and it was. And I trust Murray Regional Hospital fully with my health. Extraordinary people, extraordinary care.
fishnets.
Bingo. Do you know what I'm thinking?
I sure do. 2 fish sandwiches for $4 at Arby's. Where are my keys? Here they are. Get dressed. Let's go.
Arby's 2 for $4 fish sandwiches. A tender fish fillet with tartar sauce, lettuce, and tomato on a sesame seed bun. It's a deal that'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's.
Attacked by the family pet. What happened to her? Next Inside Edition.
Don't miss once-in-a-lifetime performances you'll never see again.
Get down, girl. Go ahead. Get down.
It's going to be loud, live, and unpredictable. The Grammy Awards, CBS